What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's a new comic book day, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood, a.k.a. the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day. What day is it?
May 6th.
May 6th.
May 6th.
At your local comic shop.
May 6th, May 6th, May 6th. Just write it down. Put it in your back pocket.
Write it on your skin in Sharpie.
Write it on your skin in Sharpie, right. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's not going to change, so there you go.
Yep.
Free Comic Book Day, May 6th. Let's get into it.
All right.
Things we saw this week.
Yes.
All right. I just want to point out, I've been blessed with some great art on my TL lately.
Yeah. Great news.
Great. Just great stuff on the timeline. I just saw Joe Quesada do a Barry Windsor Smith interpretation of Weapon X, which was kind of amazing to see because I've never seen him draw that character before. But also, it's the X-Men 60th anniversary this year, right?
Yeah.
And what's the what year? 1963, right?
Yeah.
And
wow.
Alex Ross is recreating one of the more iconic images of the X-Men. Not as far back as 1963, but I think as far back as, I want to say 1991, 92, Johnny? Something like that, right? 91, yeah.
Oh,
X-Men #1 by Jim Lee. He teased it, Alex Ross teased this on his timeline. And this is the original art by Jim Lee. This thing is iconic. This is the thing that ignited a million nerds, ignited the passion of a million fanboys.
Oh, that is so cool.
It's good. And, of course, this is the incomplete version. He's going to put color to this. One of the things I like about this, I don't know if this is necessarily intentional, but it's kind of like, it almost feels like seconds after the original image.
Oh yeah, for the way Magneto's standing, slightly turned.
Right.
We'll do it back and forth, and you can see the differentiation between the movements of the characters.
It definitely does feel like a progression.
Right.
Yeah, everyone's in action, just slightly more.
Just slightly more so, right? I mean, some of that can be said for Alex Ross's interpretation of things.
Sure.
Versus, I would say, Jim Lee's interpretation of things at the time, because I think Jim Lee's also grown as an artist as well since then. But yeah, I just love this, and I cannot wait to see the final image. I don't know what this is attached to. I don't know if this is, I'm assuming this is going to be some sort of cover for something.
It would feel, it'd be a shame if they didn't do something with it, if it just was a piece of internet art.
No, it couldn't be. They would have to do a poster. Sometimes they do these really, these not trifold posters, but these really horizontal posters, something like that. That would be cool to see.
It says where and how the artwork will be displayed has yet to be announced.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, it's a super tease, super tease. So keep an eye out, and of course you can go to PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases, and hopefully you will see the cover. I'm thinking variant cover. That's what it's giving me.
Man, as a wraparound too.
Yeah, nice wraparound, probably a gatefold cover for something. I don't know what, but for something. So keep an eye on PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases and PREVIEWSworld.com/catalog to find out more. Where are we up to now? Delaware, Ashton.
Well, I'd gone up to Longwood Gardens, which is really cool. If you haven't been. And then a friend recommended a bookstore nearby called Second and Charles. It's a smaller chain, but I had never been, and they have cool used book sales, and you can get a ton of books. They buy two, get two free. But bring all of this up to say, they had a pretty impressive comic book and manga section.
Okay, nice. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They even had it labeled. I like that.
I was pleasantly surprised, when you, not to hate, but you go into Barnes & Noble and it's a couple shelves.
It's some trades.
This was a whole damn section. They had single issues, they had trades, they had hardcovers, they had shelves and shelves and shelves of manga. It was awesome.
Okay, nice.
But it's cool to see comic book kind of getting that love in a more mainstream sense. I know we're all about our local comic shops, but we're also about getting comics into as many hands as we can.
Yeah, what's the Raising, was it a Raising Tide? Raises all ships. I totally butchered that.
Yeah.
But that's the same mentality, basically. Yeah, and that's always great to see. I mean, I am always, I don't know if you do this, I also do this. I tend to gravitate towards bookstores when I'm in new places.
Same, yeah, I do.
And if I know that I can actively find a comic shop near me, I will go find one.
Yeah.
But if it's a bookstore, I'll just kind of meander into one.
Yes.
I'm a bit of a wanderer, actually.
I can respect that.
Actually, I'm going to do a big reveal here.
Uh-oh.
Your boy got glasses now. How about that?
You look smart.
I do. I'm going to fool everybody. But these are for distance, so it's really messing my brain right now looking at them
Looking straight into a tablet.
Right. Anyway.
We do have some comments of people checking in.
Let's do it.
What's up, everybody?
Ubaldo's saying hello, everybody.
What's up, Ubaldo?
He's also saying marching into a new month. Sorry, cheesy
Boo.
joke. On this week's episode of Things We Have Not Yet Seen This Week, hey guys, new Mandalorian is awesome.
Oh my
Watch
God.
it again after this.
Is that today?
Yes.
That's today.
Oh, wow.
I don't want any spoilers. I don't want to hear a single spoiler.
Oh, man. Is it? So, wait, are they doing episode by episode, or are they doing like they just dumping them all at once?
The Mandalorian's always been like one at a time.
One at a
Yeah.
time. Okay, yeah. All right, well, yeah, I completely blanked on that. Interesting. Okay.
And Ubaldo also says, the glasses, you're looking sharp.
Thank you very much, Ubaldo. I didn't get the reaction I expected from Ashton. She was like, "You look smart."
Oh, okay. Okay, to be fair, I saw them on Monday in our content
Oh, you
meeting,
did,
and I
that's
had a
right.
big reaction then.
You did. That's true, actually. Okay, I take it back. Okay, fair enough.
God, put me
The
on
viewers have not
blast
seen them yet.
for
The,
no
the viewers have
reason.
not seen them yet. All right, let's get into what's at your local comic shop this week. Time for New Release Wednesday. Let's go. All right, so
Troy goes.
okay.
All right, if you just start flipping a coin. or,
Johnny's
like,
sick of it. Johnny's like, no more of this.
done with us.
Troy goes. All right.
After a couple weeks ago when it took like up half the show just trying to decide.
Trying to
who's
play
gonna
rock,
go.
paper,
Just trying to figure out the rules of rock, paper, scissors.
Fair enough. I guess, I don't know. I feel like rock, paper, scissors must be like Uno, because you know how like people can't really agree on the rules.
I have never played a game of Uno that didn't result in one, a massive fight, or two, a
Right.
15-minute discussion of the house rules of
Right.
Uno.
Yes. And they're always different.
Yes.
Always different. But my pick this week. Do a power bomb. You gotta say it like that. I've been
we talked
eyeballing
about
this
this
for a
before?
while. You know, I think I've talked about it, but I don't think I've actually talked about it on the show.
Okay, because I saw that was your pick, and I was like, I feel like that's familiar.
Yeah, no, it's been something that's been batted around internet conversations.
Where is
lately.
this power bomb coming from? It's gotta look how far he has to fall.
I don't think it's literal in that image necessarily. People have been telling me I'd love this for like months now, and Do a Power Bomb's trade paperback is out this week. It's collecting the whole series by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. It's Daniel Warren Johnson, so the art's going to be nice. It's going to be real nice.
It's gonna be nice.
It's going to be real nice. But listen to this whacked out premise.
ready. Hit me with it.
Lona Steelrose wants to be a pro wrestler, but she's living under the shadow of her mother, the best to ever do it. Everything changes when a wrestling-obsessed necromancer asks her to join the grandest and most dangerous pro wrestling tournament of all time. It's The Wrestler Meets Dragon Ball Z, and a tale where the competitors get more than they ever bargained for. And yes.
Go Super Saiyan in the middle of the ring.
Like I said, people have been recommending this to me for months, and I just have been, I kind of picked up the single issues, and so technically I'm already going to read the single issues. I'm not going to get the trade, but I figure since the
Fair.
trade is out this week, it's a good time.
Good chance to talk about it.
It's a good time to talk about it. So, because I have been remiss, and I have not been talking about this book at all, and I feel like I will love it. But yeah, I believe this is the complete series. I think it was like about 7 issues, and I think this is like finite.
Oh, it's a miniseries.
Yeah. So it was a miniseries that they had put together. I don't think it goes beyond issue 7. I don't think it's going to go beyond this trade paperback.
Crazy.
If you like Murder Falcon, right? I talked about Murder Falcon on the show before. Daniel Warren Johnson also did that. You'll probably dig this.
Okay.
You know, and I mean, we've talked about like wrestling in general in the past, and I feel like if you're a wrestling fan, you probably will dig this too. So
I've spent this entire time you've been talking thinking about Eddie Guerrero and the 5-star frog splash.
okay, nice.
Just like to let you
Yeah,
know.
okay, I like that. I appreciate that. Much respect for that.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. But yes, do a power bomb in comic shops this week. What is your pick this week, Ashton?
Oh God. Stone Cold Steve Austin shotgunning beers.
Yes.
My pick this week is We Live Volume Number 1. It's also a
trade.
It's a hardcover though. I do love a hardcover. There's something satisfying about how nice those are. So this is from Aftershock Comics, writing and art from Roy and Inaka Miranda. This is one of those instances for me where Free Comic Book Day achieved its intended effect. Because this was Aftershock's Free Comic Book Day book last year.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had seen it. And We Live was already out at the time, but they were using Free Comic Book Day as an opportunity to kind of promote it.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, they achieved their goal with me.
Okay.
Wasn't hard. This is a post-apocalyptic story.
Okay, all right.
So it's set in 2084 on an Earth that we've completely just destroyed. It's just racked with calamities. There's been all kinds of environmental issues. Plus the added benefit of some pretty sweet monsters that are just eating humans, which is awesome.
So there are still humans here.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. All right.
But the human race is like, rapidly speeding towards extinction. When they get a message from some sort of alien race that's like, look, you guys are on your way out, but like we'll take 5,000 of you basically to propagate your population elsewhere, since you can't be trusted with your own planet. And so our main character, our hero, if you will, is a guy named Hototo, which is great.
Okay.
Hototo. And his sister needs to get him to like the pickup point so that he can be picked up with the other 4,999 children that they're going to take elsewhere to propagate the race.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's who is right here on the cover. And I'm all about, post-apocalyptic, but also anything that's got like a nice commentary towards we should probably not disrespect our Earth.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
And that's what this is doing.
Okay, I like the notion of like humans. Time out.
You're done.
You're done.
You
Go
can't
sit in
be
the
trusted
corner.
to be alone. We will supervise you for the next 2,000 years until you get it right.
I mean, with results like that, it's hard to argue.
We have not. Our track record is not encouraging currently.
No, not at all, not at all. Okay, so that's available from Aftershock Comics this week. I was just thinking when you said there's something about a hardcover that's satisfying. It feels prestigious. I don't know. There's something about it. Like even when I'm buying like books off of like novels off of Amazon, like I'm like, maybe I'll get the hardcover. Just so it looks nice on the shelf.
I am one of those people that like, oh man, I get it. I feel like now I'm about to say this. This feels blasphemous. I love to like crack the spine on a new book.
I feel that, yeah.
Okay.
I get you.
Some people feel like that's rude, that you shouldn't do that to a book. It's just so sad. Just right down the middle.
Just right down the middle. No, I totally understand. Like sometimes I just press on it and lean on it a little bit because it's still fresh. You got to do that. That's just
gotta break it in.
You got to break it in. And then also on the flip side, sometimes I buy used books because I don't know. In my mind, I'm like they need to be loved. So I guess it goes either way with me.
I bought 4 books when I was at Second and Charles because it's a used bookstore.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Let's get into Gems of the Month, actually. So typically, this is where we show you toys or this week's comics and in detail. But it just so happens that there's a new previews catalog out this month already. It is the March previews catalog. So these are items shipping in May. So these are all pre-orderable now. And here are some of the Gems of the Month, which means basically titles from our top publishers. Check it out.
Woo!
A new month means a new previews catalog. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Gems of the Month from inside March's catalog. Be sure to pick up a copy of this month's previews catalog to see all the amazing pop culture goodies that you can pre-order at your friendly local comic shop.
Hakes Auctions is the premier source for all manner of Americana and collectibles, and auction number 237 is now open for bidding. Here are some of the amazing items that you can find over at Hakes.com. Be sure to check out the full auction by visiting Hakes.com. Closing dates for items in auction 237 are March 21st through 22nd. Hakes, America's first collectibles auction house.
We just had the most labyrinthine conversation. I was just kind of thinking about how this worked. Like we were talking about, I don't even know how we got on bears. I don't even know how that started. But long story short, we ended up talking about Brendan Fraser and then the Mummy. And I don't know how they got
There's also like some Will Ferrell references.
Some Will Ferrell
in there.
references in the middle of it. I don't know where that started, but it went in a direction. Just to let you know, our tangents are not just for the camera; they happen in real life too. That was Gems of the Month, followed by a video of Hakes 237. Typically we always promote Hakes on our show when they do something. They usually do it every couple of months. They have a new auction that they're running. This one is the 237th one, and as usual, you got some classic Star Wars toys, some graded Super Nintendo games or graded classic games, period, and also of course comics. I definitely saw Amazing Fantasy and Fantastic Four #1 in there, and a couple of other ones. So definitely check that out because. Not all of them are super expensive. That's kind of part of the charm of Hakes. You're not breaking an arm and a leg to pay for this stuff.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could. But
you could. I mean, maybe they let you. I don't know what kind of black market dealings they have, but still, besides that,
sell your blood.
Sell your blood for a GI Joe action figure.
That seems like such a bad trade.
It seems like a bad move. I'm just gonna say that now. But yeah, it ends March 21st and 22nd. Which basically means there's so much stuff during these Hakes auctions that they need 2 days to close it all out. So yeah, don't miss your chance. Just take a peek, see what's in there. Maybe you'll luck out with a childhood treasure that you have not had in your collection for years. And go to Hakes.com for more. All right, let's get into some news. You ready for that?
Let's do it.
All right, news time. The lack of Johnny's news, it feels kind of sad now.
It actually caught me like spacing out. I was kind of like not paying attention, and I was like, yeah, I'll wait for like the auditory cue of something from Johnny, and that didn't happen. And it came back, and I'm just like,
Johnny,
that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I was waiting for.
I'm a fan. Thank you.
I'm about it.
All's right with the world now.
That was satisfying. Okay, DC.
I apologize to those people whose eardrums I just
Yeah, if you're like a headphone listener, whoops.
Whoops.
Just blasting your eardrums. Okay, Comics Pro was last week, which, for context, is a trade show specifically for retailers. The publishers kind of get together and present their upcoming slate of books and ideas and things that will be coming to shops soon. And it's also a good networking event, get retailers some time to talk with publishers and give feedback, which is great. But at this event, DC made a ton of announcements. And chief among them were these two things. They revealed their Dawn of DC timeline, which ties into their summer event, Night Terrors. And they also announced an update to its partnership with Kodansha, which is a manga publisher. And they'll be bringing 3 stories to the United States, translated into English. Those stories will be Superman vs. Meshi, Batman Justice Buster, and Joker 1 Operation Joker. And that'll be coming to the US, North America, I should say, in English for the first time, which is cool.
That Superman cover looks like it just feels like someone's interpretation of what a manga Superman book would look like.
You say yes. Yes. So I was looking at the Joker like holding the baby. Also the ramen, or is that rice? That's rice.
That's rice. But then I guess there's like ramen behind him and some other stuff. Yeah, it's like the most manga-y thing ever.
Right, like he's still got the Superman curl, like the Clark Kent curl's happening, but he's got like the soft like manga features.
Yeah, the big eyes.
Yeah.
Like that Joker thing is just unsettling, but
whose baby is this?
it looks like it's supposed to be Catwoman. Am I wrong? Or no, it's Batman. It's like a bat baby.
That's what I was wondering, like, but like who is it? Is it Damien?
I guess you got to read it to find out.
You got me there.
No, Night Terrors actually sounds pretty interesting. This notion of like the a horror component in the DC universe. I know that they had just done a zombie thing not too long ago, which was really well received. So yeah, more horror stuff. Also, DC has a rich history of horror too, like between Swamp Thing and was Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, and et cetera, and just like House of Mystery, all that stuff. I want to see more of that stuff from DC because they're not just superheroes.
Apparently, with this, like whatever happens in the Nightmare realm, like translates to like a standard canon. So it's not going to be like a you do it and then it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, right? Yeah, it's going to have an impact.
No givesies, backsies.
Right. And I love how DC just can't spell night. N-I-G-H-T.
They just can't.
They just can't do it.
Flat out refuse. They're like, well, you can't make us. We're not doing it.
We're not doing it. It's going to have Batman in it, guys. Don't worry about it. So, whatever. It's all good, though.
When the clown you hired for the birthday just picks up your kid.
Oh, God. That is disturbing.
That ruined my whole day. Stop, because look how trusting that child is.
Right. And like how menacing the Joker looks. Like nothing about this is okay.
No. Like, he's grabbing his tie, doing the baby thing. Like, I trust all humans. Bad news.
Doing the baby thing. I trust all humans. I mean, I guess that's what babies do. That's fair. What else is in the news this week?
I hate clowns, bro. I don't know who they're for, but it's not me. Ew. Except for the mall clown that used to walk around Whitmarsh Mall and sell balloons.
That also sounds terrifying. I guess maybe.
It was like a thing. She had like a giant, like 50 balloons, and she would like walk around the mall. Except when I was really little, like I thought she was chasing me.
Because she was trying to give you the balloon. So now we have the official origin story of Ashton's fear of clowns. Finally,
the balloon mall clown.
The balloon mall clown. We got to the bottom of this. Okay, all right. Now it's all making sense now. I'm sorry you had to experience that, Ashton.
Me too.
Anyway.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Before we relive any more childhood trauma.
Before I'm crying.
What else is going on in the news?
Netflix is developing a TV show adaptation of Boom Studios' Something is Killing the Children, which has been far and away their biggest hit in years. Mm-hmm. And it's been one of the most popular comic books in general in the last couple years. Mm-hmm. So, this kind of came to life. I learned this morning. Apparently, Boom Studios has a first look deal with Netflix.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So Boom Studios, Stephen Christie and Ross Ritchie will executive produce, and also series co-creators James Tynion IV and Werther Dell'Edera are one to co-produce.
Okay.
Which is fantastic.
That's a big move, yeah.
We've discussed before, shows kind of, come out the best when their original creators have a hand in it.
Yes, absolutely.
So fingers crossed on that. If you want to read it, it's out now in comic shops. There's also the spin-off.
Yeah, House of Slaughter.
House of Slaughter, thank you.
Yeah.
And we did a panel in this, didn't we?
We did, yeah. You guys did a whole episode with people from Boom Studios on the panel, and you guys talked about the series. And it's interesting just because I was going to ask, I was like, how do we feel about Netflix being attached to this? But I didn't know that Tynion and Dell'Edera were going to be producing this as well.
I feel good about it because Sandman, was Netflix and Neil Gaiman was on board, and Heartstopper was Netflix and Alice Oseman was on board.
That's right.
So.
Okay, all right, feeling good about this.
Yeah,
I like that. That sounds good. That actually sounds real good. Also, shout out for Boom because I feel like this is their first major deal in a while. Like, I don't think a lot of people remember this. They did well, I don't know if they did it, but I think their names at the beginning of the movie. Two Guns with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg. It was based off of one of their comics.
Really?
It was like this action movie from I want to say it was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, Two Guns. It was
right.
It was a Boom Studios book, and they made it into a film. And I feel like their logo was at the beginning of the movie itself. So
Denzel Washington?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember it not being too bad either, if I remember correctly. So, but all right, no, shout out to them. Congratulations to Boom Studios on that one.
Mystical Green Beanie is chiming in.
No.
That Joker guy
No.
seems like a reliable fellow. He's supporting the head. I trust him. Yep.
That is true.
He is. That's true.
Yeah, you gotta support the baby's head. That neck doesn't work yet. Huh. I don't feel like supporting the head is a good, strong enough argument for me to hand my child over to any clown.
To any clown.
Any
Okay,
clown.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But specifically the Joker.
Specifically the Joker. I think that's absolutely fair on that too. Absolutely. Although he was recently pregnant, so maybe he's a
good father.
Maybe he's a good father or mother, I guess, in that case. I don't know. How do you want to swing that? We're going to leave that one alone.
But he was hexed by a witch.
Yes, he was, but he was still pregnant.
So got questions about that.
Yeah, we're going to leave that one alone. That might go in a direction we don't want it
If
to go.
the Joker had a child. Okay, so you know how the Joker, important context.
No, I'm here for it. I want to see where this is going.
The Joker is the clown prince of crime, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So
Okay.
if the Joker had a child, what would that child's title be?
I guess Joker would be the clown king of crime, and the
Kid would be.
kid would be the clown prince or princess of crime.
Okay. So
Maybe.
he would promote himself via having a child.
Right, him having a job.
I mean, what's the line of royalty? Is that Duke?
Oh, Duke would probably be the next thing, right?
So you're saying the kid would be the Duke, the clown Duke of crime? That's not a bad title.
That's pretty good. I'd go for that.
I mean, you're the Duchess here. You tell us.
Yeah, all right. You know all the you know
Well-
everything about a royalty, Ashton.
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends. There's no king, which kind of creates
Right, I was about to say that was the other thing. I was like, who's the king then? So
because like King Charles, but William's a duke,
okay,
but Harry's also a prince.
yeah, right. Harry's a prince in name only, I guess, at this point. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. It's king, prince. Let us know in the comments because
Someone help.
we're not English. We don't know these things by default.
I actually just looked it up. So royal and noble titles: king,
Okay.
king or queen is top. Duke or duchess is second.
Oh, what?
Then earl or countess, and then baron or baroness.
What? So wait, where's prince and princess come from?
So
Is that just because you're the children? That's it, and you will be king and
I'm
queen one
guessing.
day?
I just haven't looked that deeply into
Huh.
it.
so you said Earl is next after Duke, which would effectively be prince for the case of this conversation.
Right. Yeah.
So they'd be the clown Earl of crime.
Earl of crime. It doesn't have the same ring to it. I'm sorry, it does not.
But it's hilarious.
And now I have that Duke. Okay, anyway, got that stuck in my head now. Let's get into trailers real quick. We were talking about Comics Pro earlier,
We
right?
did have one more thing that we were talking about after the news.
Oh yeah, can you remind me what that was? Because I don't
Oh,
remember.
I'll do it since we kind of already are headed that way with the Joker.
Uh-huh. I don't know what this is.
What thing from pop culture, nerd culture? What thing from
Oh,
nerd
yeah,
culture
that's
do you
right.
feel like has permeated the mainstream?
Oh yeah, we did talk about that. That's true. Yeah, that was a really good question. Actually, Johnny presented this to us in the meeting, and yeah, I.
Here, I'll give some context.
Yeah, you want to help us?
Yeah, this is your idea.
So
because I was going to
basically-
default to the one I used yesterday.
I was listening to the radio, and the song "Kryptonite" by Three Doors Down came on the radio, and it made me think. The term kryptonite has become so popular that it's embedded itself into the zeitgeist of our society.
Yeah.
It doesn't just mean like a direct comic book reference, but it's a general another term for a weakness. So that got me to thinking like what other comic book elements or just things in general from comic books have actually permeated pop culture so much that it's just part of the overall zeitgeist of society now.
Right, and like I think when we were talking yesterday, I definitely mentioned, and actually I said there was a movie I watched, but actually it was a news anchor who said this.
Even better.
Yeah, which makes it even crazier. Someone had started with this line. It was like a news anchor who said, "With great power comes," and I think it was like, "With great power comes the ability to blah 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 blah," and it was just sort of like that's a really interesting manipulation of that, just like
Way to paraphrase.
right, way to paraphrase like a very particular pop culture reference. And so for that reason, because I've heard it multiple times out of the context of Spider-Man at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
And in serious discussions, which is also kind of weird to me in a lot of ways. With great power comes great responsibility, I think.
It's completely factual though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy enough to be like, oh, that's silly. It came from a comic book, but like. That could not be a more accurate sentence.
No, I mean, that's kind of the brilliance of it, right? And I mean, we get into these debates back and forth in the Cartoonist Kayfabe Facebook page about Stan Lee's, the things that Stan Lee provided to the actual Marvel universe. But say what you want, he wrote that line.
That is
And
that line
has
not going
legs.
anywhere.
Right, that line has legs. Keeping it on Marvel, I would also say Hulk Smash is another one.
Oh God, yeah.
And
Especially
actually, I just remember something. Sorry, go ahead.
after like the big foam hands came out.
Yeah.
That just like really solidified that.
Now I'm going to say something kind of inappropriate here.
Let's do it.
We both like Jersey Shore. Mm-hmm. The use of the word smash on that show.
Yeah, they completely co-opted
They
that.
definitely co-opted. Okay, I thought it was just me.
No, they did.
I definitely thought it was. I'll just leave it at that. What else? Any other options? It just immediately came to mind.
They ruined that word forever.
They did, actually. Now I think about it. That's hilarious, actually. What other ones?
I think spidey senses.
Oh, okay, like spidey sense.
Anytime you have like a weird gut feeling, you're like, my spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fair one. I mean, like, can we kick it over to DC? What are some other DC ones? We got Kryptonite for sure. What else?
Okay,
Johnny?
thanks for the feedback, Johnny.
No, I'm thinking.
He's like, can we kick it over to DC?
Well, I mean, we also want to open up to the chat because like,
Dead
we want to
air.
know what you guys think as well.
But the thing is, like, we're going to make this a thing for next week's show. We're going to get into this more discussion because we're going to make this a social swamp, right?
Yeah, we're gonna make a
Yeah.
social swap or something. We'll figure out something for next week.
So if you have an idea, I would say hold on to it because you're going to put up a post.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so then you can just drop all of your ideas in the comment section of that post, and we'll.
Dang, we can't add videos to polls, can we, on Twitter?
No.
No, okay. I think, we'll figure out something. Because like I know we have a few options already, but yeah, let us know in the chat. Because like if it's a really good one, we'll make it part of the options that people can choose from, or we'll just open up to everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Comics Pro.
Right. Yes.
Thank you for reminding me about that, Johnny. So yeah, Comics Pro was this past weekend. A number of publishers, a number of distributors showed up to announce big things that were happening. We just showed you some of the stuff from DC, right? But Image actually dropped something that I know a lot of people are excited about. It's a new extension of the Massive-verse.
Yeah.
So Radiant Black, I think there was another one, was Radiant Pink, I think is the other one, I think.
Oh yeah, there is.
You know,
I forgot about that.
there's quite a few books in this series, and this is kind of becoming almost like, it is. I mean, not even almost. It's becoming Image's universe, superhero universe.
sure.
You know, and to the point that like it makes me almost wonder what could have been if the original Image founders had just kind of, locked into each other. You know? Right.
That'd have been crazy.
But there's a new series called No One, and it's from Kyle Higgins and Brian Buccellato and Geraldo Borges. So check out the trailer, and when we come back, we'll talk more about it.
To the hypocrites and the corrupt, the swindlers, the parasites, all those who take from your fellow man, because like all monsters, you believe yourself safe in the shadows. This message is for you. Is coming, where all monsters will answer for their transgressions. No one is above the law, and I am no one.
All right, not a symbol, not a hero. They could be anyone, they're no one. Superstar writers Kyle Higgins, who did Radiant Black, Nightwing, Brian Buccellato, who did Chicken Devil, Detective Comics, and also did that Oscar Isaac comic that we were talking about a few weeks ago.
Head Wounds.
And rising star artist Geraldo Borges, who did Nightwing, bring you the extra-length first chapter of a true crime superhero drama in its own corner of the Massive-verse. So this has not been solicited yet, so it's not available to pre-order just yet, but you can go to your comic shop already and just be like, hey, sign me up for No One if you're a fan of the Massive-verse already, right? It's like, you do have that option, but you should definitely keep an eye on it because it'll be in future issues of PREVIEWSworld. And where can you find that? PREVIEWSworld.com/catalog is the easiest way, but you can also wait for it to show up in the catalog, the physical catalog to show up in your store, and the digital catalog will be also available when the physical catalog shows up in your shop as well. Let's talk.
Another comment.
Yeah, what we got?
Mystical Green Beanie's back.
Oh,
Joker
Lord.
2, but it's with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito remaking Junior, but with DC characters.
Jail.
Ashton just sentenced you. She's like, jail. Go away. It's so stupid. I love it.
You're done giving input in today's episode. Try again next week.
Are you a Mystical Green Beanie's take, Johnny?
I'm all for stupidity.
I mean, that's fine. That's totally fair. You know what? I'm going to give him a little shout out. Go definitely check out Mystical Green Beanie's YouTube channel. He does have some interesting insight. He's oftentimes right about stuff, but he's oftentimes wrong about stuff too, so whatever. Anyway.
Ubaldo's saying he's adding No One to his comic list.
All right, cool. Thank you, Ubaldo.
Did we say when that comes out?
I'm not sure.
Okay, perfect.
I want to say that it's not a May book.
So you're saying
I think it's summer. I think it's summertime.
probably in the April catalog.
Yeah, I think it might be in the April catalog or something like that. So.
Yeah, because the Radiant Black, their next Radiant Black issue comes out in July. So.
Right. Yeah.
This probably.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking.
No One #1 is arriving March 15th.
Oh, that's next week. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm getting the two books mixed up. So issue number 25. Sorry, my bad. Issue number 25 is the one that's like getting solicited in a couple months out.
Right. Yeah.
Right. This one is actually March 15th. You're absolutely right, Johnny. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the save.
Saving our bacon, much appreciated. That's what Johnny
out here
Rose
just
here.
making up
Just
release
making
dates.
up stuff. So yes, you can. In fact, you can in fact pre-order it now at your local comic shop, regardless. So definitely use that. Use your local comic shop to grab an issue on March 15th, or go to PREVIEWSworld.com/pullbox and reserve your copy through participating stores. Quantumania.
Yeah.
I don't get the hate.
You saw it?
I saw it.
Okay.
I liked it. I thought liked it a lot.
Was it getting hate?
It was getting. I don't know. It's like this weird. I don't know. It's like this weird indifference towards it, and and I think it's some of it's because and some of it's because I think people are. I don't know. I feel people don't necessarily. We were talking about media literacy before, right? And this is like my favorite argument right now, by the way, is media literacy. But I'm watching it and I'm like, this thing is providing answers for all the questions people had about Kang and all this other stuff. It's like giving you context for this character. I'm like, that's cool. I like this. More so than I thought Loki did, to be honest.
No, Loki didn't answer any questions.
Right, I was about to say, Loki didn't answer anything. But everybody was really excited about it afterwards. So I'm like, this I think they actually did a great job with. I thought it was one of the better Phase 4 movies. So, yeah. Johnny, I know you talked about it last week. You said you didn't like some of the stuff with MODOK.
Yeah.
And I won't give it away. I won't spoil it. I thought it was fine. Like they find a way to tie it into like other things, and I thought that was cool. I always appreciate when the MCU finds ways to kind of, reward you for watching all these movies. Basically, you know what I mean?
That's valid.
And so even if it's not comic accurate, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But,
well, let me ask you this, Troy. I just want to play devil's advocate here. Do you feel like the goofiness of the movie, in terms of like Scott Lang and kind of Ant-Man movies are kind of a little bit zany by nature. Do you think that zaniness kind of undermines Kang's coming out as like the next like big bad for the MCU? Does it make him seem like as not as much of a threat because of like how zany the rest of the movie is?
So
in places.
I didn't think the movie was that zany either. Like I thought it was like kind of like it was enough down the middle that I was okay with it.
Okay.
Like I mean, and maybe that's because it is an Ant-Man movie. I was sort of like, okay, this is going to be kind of like a little bit more upbeat. But it actually kind of surprised me when it got a little bit not upbeat. when it got a little weird and it got a little bit darker, and then the introduction of some of the characters was very efficient. I liked it. Like I didn't think that it was particularly silly, I guess I should say.
Okay.
It wasn't as serious as Wakanda Forever.
Sure.
Right,
well, I mean, there's really no way to surpass that.
Right. But truthfully, if I had to rank it, I'd say it's right under Wakanda Forever. So I would say Quantumania, Wakanda Forever, and Spider-Man No Way Home are like the best of
Phase 4.
Best of Phase 4, yeah. Like that's and No Way Home's at the top. So
really,
yeah. As far as I'm concerned, No Way Home is at the top. Like I watched that movie way more times than I should have once it came out on Blu-ray or whatever. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm way into it. I don't know. And I saw that like there was a drop off in the box office or whatever. It was like it was an uncharacteristically large drop off in the box office.
Yeah, I think the story was that for as far as Marvel movies go, this had the worst second week drop off in terms of like ticket sales.
But you know what? I'm going to blame some of that on Disney Plus because at this point we're kind of like we're aware of the fact that in a month it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Yes.
And I feel like with No Way Home and Wakanda Forever specifically, those were such events that people went to the movie theaters to go see them. But they were events for very particular reasons.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? A lot of it was nostalgia. Or like, just like, saying goodbye to Chadwick Boseman or whatever. This movie's a little bit more business as usual, and I actually appreciate it. I thought it was very cool. Like, I enjoyed it. And I was way more into Kang after the end of this than I was at the end of Loki. So
okay.
And everything you're saying about Jonathan Majors,
A+.
Yeah, he did a great job. I think the hilarious thing about this though is the drop off for Ant-Man Quantumania was in favor of Cocaine Bear. which is
like, why is it so popular? Like, what is wrong with all of us?
which is at the top of the box office this week. So, you know what? You know what's funny? We have lived in a time where I never thought that a superhero film would be. Superhero films would be Marvel movies in particular would be dominating the box office for months.
Yeah.
And now we're at a point where I never thought I would see a movie like Cocaine Bear dethrone a Marvel movie so fast.
Who are we?
Yeah, you know what? The movie going artist is very fickle. How about that? At least we were consistent with Marvel for 10 years, so let's switch it up.
Lord.
Now. Screw it. But yeah, I just know it's hilarious that Cocaine Bear like dethroned it after 1 week. Let's get into.
Abaldo's saying 70% drop off, right?
Was it that
I don't know
high?
about the exact numbers.
Yeah, I saw 69%, so you're not too far off from Waldo. Yeah, so I thought it was good. I thought it was good, guys. I don't know. You let me know what you thought, but I thought it was good. And I mean,
I feel like Disney probably did kind of create an issue for themselves.
Yeah. And I mean, that was a conversation 2 years ago when the pandemic happened and people started doing day and date. It's like you're kind of undercutting. That was Scarlett Johansson's entire argument for Black Widow, actually.
Yeah, valid. It's valid.
So, all right, let's get into some asinine arguments.
Yes.
All right. Okay. It sounds like you got something cooked up. All
yes.
Right. Let's do it. Ashton's got something for us. Asinine arguments time.
This week's poll literally does not make sense.
Okay.
At all. Important context before we jump into what the question is. Question is about the Chewbacca defense, which, if you're not familiar with what a Chewbacca defense is, it has its origins in South Park. It's a legal strategy, basically, where the defense attempts to confuse and misdirect the jury rather than actually prove a point. So when you're arguing a losing case, you're just trying to get anybody away from it by saying as much ridiculous and untrue things as you can.
Okay. It's like
or completely irrelevant and unrelated.
Or to use like a
It's kind of like a filibuster.
Yeah.
Filibuster or a straw man argument. I hear that thrown around a lot. I'm thinking that's maybe something like that too, right?
It's usually just like it has nothing to do with what's being talked about.
But wait, what does that have to do with Chewbacca though?
Okay, so then the South Park episode is like that it comes from, they're poking fun at the OJ trial. And so like they're making fun of Johnny Cochran's if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Okay.
And the character goes into this whole like tangent about why Chewbacca wouldn't want to live on Endor with the Ewoks.
Okay.
Instead of arguing about the glove.
Just a complete derailment.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. I got to see this now. I'm very curious about this. This is interesting. I haven't watched South Park in a long time. So, okay, well, what is the poll this week?
Okay, so here's the poll. So the Joker is standing trial for his crimes against Gotham, and you're his defense attorney. Choose the best Chewbacca defense to win your case. Choices are Spider-Man isn't a spider, bats don't even wear top hats, humans aren't amphibious, or photosynthesis is dumb.
You know what? I'm going to go with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is dumb. I'm just going to go with that because that seems so far off track from everything else in this conversation. What about you, Johnny?
First of all, Ashton, I have to say, chef's kiss on this one.
Oh, thank you.
This is great. Humans aren't amphibious. It's just some of these are just general statements.
That's true.
Actually, a lot of them are just general statements. But for me, bats don't wear top hats. I'm like, I want to know how it got to that point.
Right.
So that, for curiosity's sake alone, I have to go with bats don't wear top hats.
So wait, at the end, do like they at least like? So I haven't seen the South Park episode. So at the end, do they at least say at the end, and this is why my defendant's not guilty? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Or is it just like you just go up to the thing, you just go up to the stand, and you go, photosynthesis is dumb, and you just
Why
walk
can
away.
plants eat sunlight? That's not fair.
I want to eat sunlight. Anyway, okay. Right. Bats don't wear top hats. Let's see what it is. Survey says.
Bats don't wear top hats.
Wow, okay. All right. A lot of people are with the ish this week. They're here for the nonsense. That was grade A. All right.
Thank you.
I definitely did not see that coming. That is interesting. You know, I always have these moments where I'm like, wait a minute, we didn't even talk about the poll this week. And I'm like, uh-oh. Ashton's going to go way wide with this. I know she is. And you always do. I love it. All right. Comic shop shout out time. If we can get it together long enough.
Okay.
Comic shop shout out time. Who's this week's comic shop shout out?
This week's comic shop shout out, Johnny. That's right. We had to change it at the last minute. That's right. This week's comic shop shout out goes to Fox Comics and Games. It comes from Caleb Abbott. Do we happen to know where this is located?
It's in Marion, Illinois.
Perfect. So we'll give you some images inside of the shop. You can check that out during the credits roll. If you want us to shout out your local comic book shop on the show, find us on social media, tag your shop. If they don't have a handle, just leave their name, and use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS. We'll find your local comic book shop, shout them out on the show, and give them some love.
All right, look at that. And this is your reminder to like, follow, and subscribe. You can hang out with me over at PREVIEWSworld, and you can hang out with Ashton over at
Free Comic Book Day.
And that's pretty much everywhere.
Bats don't wear top hats,
Where bats
and
clearly do
photosynthesis is dumb.
There you go, that's it. You know what? We should just close, like, from now on, don't even get the handles. Just be like, I mean, give the handles, but then
Right.
just if in with and photosynthesis is dumb. Where photosynthesis is dumb. Beyond that, you know, you hang out with me at PREVIEWSworld, you might see some cool things. I did an interview with Sean Damian Hill this week. You know, this was wrapping up our Black History Month, or Black Futures Month, I should call it, coverage for the month. And Sean is like he's a rising star. Like, he has a detailed art style that reminds me of, and I was actually happy to find out that I was right when I had thought of this, George Perez or Phil Jimenez. And so, sure enough, when I did the interview, I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, stuff is so detailed, it reminds me of George Perez. And he says that one of the first books he ever got was Teen Titans by Wolfman and Perez. Yeah, just a super detailed style. He's currently the artist on Bishop's War College from Marvel, which is an X-Men title. But he's also doing a book that's currently on Kickstarter called Is Nana, the Were Spider, which is steeped in African spirituality. So yeah, definitely check out that interview, because like some amazing artwork. And I'm telling you guys, Sean's the real deal. Like, I mean, Johnny, scroll back up to that Dr. Doom real quick.
Oh my God.
He's just really good, and he's
so detailed.
He better be on one of the big 2 titles in a couple more years.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Because like, yeah, he's no joke. So that's available on our website right now, PREVIEWSworld.com. Johnny, I forgot. Well, we're going to talk about the panel, right?
We also have the this one.
Oh, okay, there you go. So yeah, actually, it is Women in Comics Month. So
You were going to forget about women?
I definitely was not.
Okay.
I would not do that. Okay.
Oh, you're on your own.
Like, I saw Johnny just run out the door. Anyway, it is Women's History Month, right?
It is.
And so we're switching gears on the website because it's officially March 1st as we're doing this episode.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be putting you guys on not only 2 titles created by women, but we're also going to be highlighting some of our past interviews with female creators. So definitely give that a look. That's on our website right now. And I think
Animosity's awesome.
yeah, I know people.
Animosity's so good.
Yeah.
And I think the URL is PREVIEWSworld.com, Women in Comics. If I'm not mistaken, it should take you directly to the page that features all these, and then look out for the interviews that we're going to be doing throughout the month. And that is it.
We do have a couple more comments before we leave.
Okay.
I hope it's about the Chewbacca defense.
We do have a couple about the poll. Fantastic Four saying he laughed pretty hard earlier at the poll.
Thank you. I was proud of my work there.
Ubaldo also saying he loves this poll. Totally awesome. Fantastic Four saying he chooses photosynthesis because I thought someone would immediately get defensive and create an argument to distract everyone.
That's true. You'd be like, photosynthesis is stupid because plants can eat sunlight and I can't, and that's unfair. And then someone's like, no, photosynthesis is important because we need plants to create oxygen. And then you're just like on this whole side quest, and Joker can just like slip out the door.
Back door,
yeah.
right, of the courtroom. Brilliant. That's why he's a clown prince of crime.
And lastly, Ubaldo saying he's driving to the comic shop. Who's with him?
I feel
I
that
hope
action.
you're not driving while you're watching this show. That is ill-advised.
It's ill-advised. It's fair. Actually, I'm going to hit up Third Eye Comics probably after this.
I still have not been to Third Eye Comics.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What?
Now they're expanding. Oh, goodness. I'm just saying.
I know I need to go. I want to go. I need to make it like a whole thing, like a trip.
Do we need to talk to Steve and say like we're gonna have to like actually like live broadcast from there just to get you to go?
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
We'll find out. Stay tuned. But yes, that is it for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood.
And I will see you all at the spinner rack. Where did Troy go? Troy's not here anymore.
Don't forget that you can also get a sneak peek at upcoming comics by picking up a copy of this month's Previews catalog. Just ask for it at your friendly local comic shop.